Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the second lesson, Unit 2, the Internet and how it works. I am Peter Okebukola, and today, a great Monday, May the 5th, 2025. You know, I talked about in my last lesson, lesson 1, about two worlds. The physical world, we see ourselves like this, and then the virtual world. And that's largely the Internet. And that's where we want to go to today. We want to go, look at what is there in the virtual world. By the way, it is not in the air like is typically depicted. It's on the ground here. Cables, and you're going to see them all. So, the last lesson we looked at these topics was cybersecurity. It was an introductory lesson. And you did very well in the test. You can see that it's negatively skewed, meaning that we bucked the high scorers here. You can see 500 over 500. So congratulations. I have no doubt at all that in this lesson, Unit 2, you are going to do better. So what are the topics we are going to cover in this unit? We're going to introduce you to the Internet and how it works. How data travels through networks and recognizing risk in connected devices. But more importantly, I tell you is this. We want you as early as we can now in the course, load you, or rather empower you with vocabulary that when the experts are talking, you also be able to appreciate what they are saying and jump in and say and use the terminologies that they use. So like we did in the first lesson, you are going to have some terminologies that I'm going to be introducing. I'll not go into so much depth for this lesson. As we go along, of course, this unit 2 of 12 will be getting you into the hang of it all. So, Mr. Internet, who are you? Who are you? Hey, that's now. We are connected. I'm connected. You are connected. Everybody is connected. Not everybody. As many people as connected. Look at this children. You know where we're growing up. The children will come in like this, will hold their hands. So that's analogous to what happens in the Internet, where you have the different users, the different elements on the Internet, holding their hands like this. It's like, let's use the analogy of the physical. Let's take a university, polytechnic, or college of education. You have students. The students have their matriculation numbers, the staff have their staff IDs, and everything, there's order there. So it's the same. Every element, you can see we have 16 billion, look at it, 16 billion devices that are connected to the Internet. And every device, you don't just come there and just make my jump. No. You have your ID. The regulators are there, like NUC, MBT, SEC. These are regulators that, the physical world. In the virtual world, you also have them. So it's not Jankara market. Everybody can do whatever he or she likes. No, there's order. You got to have your ID. Where your ID there? That's your IP address. You got to have your web address. You have the domain name. All of those things. We're going to learn a little bit of them in this lesson. So how do we define the Internet? We define it as a global network, as you can see. Global network of computers and servers that are interconnected. You can see those children holding hands that communicate using standardized protocols. As I mentioned, though, standardized protocols like CC-MAS. You can't just come and just do anything you like. The protocols are standardized to share information, resources, and services. Look at this other highlight that I put in here. Decentralized. So you don't have one man say, let me get the Internet. I'm the owner of the Internet. I can do whatever I like. I can autocratic. No. It's decentralized. So I told you that the Internet, the hardwire, cable, like this. So this is what it is. You have the backbone of cables carrying the data to and fro. And you can find this in submarinecablemap.com. Let's go and look at it live. Yeah, so as you can see, submarinecablemap.com. You can go there and look at it. Nice thing. So look at it. So these are cables running all over the place. If you come to Nigeria, part of Africa, you can see them. You can see this, you can see cable 1, and the rest you can. Actually, yeah, like this. So that's the submarine cable map. Yeah, of course, you still have the satellites all running all over the place. So we're looking at what is in the what you have in the internet, what you have as components of the internet. You have this backbone. That's the cables I talked to you about. And then you have satellites. You have we are the users. You are and me. We are the users. We're also called clients. Clients. And then local internet service provider like MTN, Glo, and the rest of them are the providers. So these are some components of. You can see they are connected. I told you about the devices, 15 billion connected to the internet. Is there a difference between World Wide Web (WWW) and internet? Yes, of course, in some form. You see, the internet is the whole body of things like we have in here, and is the infrastructure. Internet is the infrastructure, the networks, the cables, the routers or routers. I'll come to that in a minute. Then the WWW World Wide Web is the service. This one is the service, uh, and you also have file transfer protocol as part of the internet. This one, when you're uploading something, you're uploading your report, your particular one to the VigBay app, file transfer protocol is working. You are downloading videos, music, file transfer protocol is working. The email you can do without this hyphen there. So telnet. So that's the difference. Internet, the whole thing, the infrastructure, www, the service, or part of the service. Let's look at the evolution. As the time from 1969, you have uh, the ARPANET, and then you can go through this. You can find time to go through this. You can see how it has evolved. 5G, Internet of Things. This IoT, Internet of Things. We'll come to it at some point. So about 2000, you had the broadband and mobile internet, cloud computing and streaming services. We have another evolutionary scheme here. 1969, we talked about that, and it goes on like this, like this. Here, we have 5.56 billion internet users. No, the other one is different from devices, the users. Okay, each user can have more than one device. Like here, as I'm sitting, I have 4 devices that I'm using here. So what are the main components? Let's break them down. You have the hardware. Well, we told you about the cables, so the fiber optic cables, the servers, the computers, the servers, the computers, the laptops and all of those, which facilitate internet connectivity, the hardware. They have the network infrastructure, the internet service provider, ISP. Where are they? You see, I put this one here to let you see that there's also difference. There's order in the university. You have the council, the vice chancellor, the deputy, and all of them here. So the same, you're working in harmony. You have the protocols. I told you about the protocols. They are the rules that govern the data exchange. We are going to explain some of this to you shortly. Web services and platforms, data, cybersecurity system, and of course, you and I, the users, the people who interact with the internet via browsing, communication, work, entertainment, and more. Very nice. So, how does it work? I tell you, it works in a very simple, very logical way. How? It's like a relay race. I send some information to you, like I told you. I assume I want to write to the Vice Chancellor, University of Benin, or I want to go to University of Benin website to check out a few things. By the way, University of Benin Vice Chancellor, I just came back from Benin, and the Vice Chancellor was very, very pleasant, to me, hosted me very, very well. So I'm writing a mail to him. It leaves my computer. It goes through a series of transactions, more or less, through series of processes that will now land on his desk. And when he opens it, he will see my message. So let me go into it in a little more detail. You see, when you send a message, it doesn't go as it's not that full message. It's like you're sending what is it now? Like plantain or okra fruit. you are sending it. It doesn't send it in through the system. It breaks it down into small packets. So the data is split into packets. Sorry, this is fuzzy. That travel through multiple network paths. Just keep going, like relay race. So the data traffic is managed via routers. So when it gets here, then the ISP, this thing is now reassembled. The thing that is broken down, the plantain that is broken down into small pieces, now reassembled, and then the recipient will have it. So this is a 7-sequence process. I'll go through this very quickly. 7-sequence process of how the internet works. So please, let's look at it. Now, your device, that is your phone or my computer, will send a request. So you type a web address, this URL. I'm going to come to this one. So don't worry. I told you we're going to make it easy for you. You're going to see how easy it is. In your browser, you click the link. So, okay, now you go and watch this lesson number 1. When you click it, that's a request. Now, the request will need to reach the server that holds the website or online service. You see, I put the thing, that video or YouTube. So that request, when you click that link on newsletter number 3, yes, it will now, that's the request you are sending. Then that request will travel through your local network, and then it will go to your internet service provider routes, which will route your request through the internet. Very nice way. So I repeat, you send the request, it travels to your local network. By the way, I'd like you to learn this how it works, because I may ask you in the test that's coming up on Friday about the sequence. So the ISP routes your request through the internet, and the domain name system resolves the address. We'll come to this one again later, but what it means is that if it is this one, vigbay.org, the app that you want to send something to. Now, the vigbay.org, just for us to know, this domain name, this is what the human will know. But it's going to put it in this 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks of letters. And this will be translated to our IP addresses so that your request reaches the correct server. Then the website server will process our request, number 6. Then the request posted will then travel back to the device, and my browser will now reconstruct. I told you it's going to break into packets and display the data. This entire process, how long does it take? It takes milliseconds. Let me give you an idea. Second, pam, pam, pam. That one pam there, if you break that one down into millions, that's millisecond now. So it makes it instant. So it travels at the speed of light. You say fiber optic. Yeah. Light travels at about, this is the figure, almost 300,000 kilometers, not per hour, per second. That means it's super fast. You will travel at the speed of light. You will reach the moon in about 1.3 seconds. Hey, my friend. It is the fastest speed possible in the universe, as far as scientists know, at least for now. Nothing can travel faster than light. So I'm going to be delivering a keynote address at the National Conference on Quality Assurance in Tokyo, Japan. Next week, I'll be traveling over this weekend by God's grace, and see what the distance is. Lagos, Nigeria to Tokyo, Japan, 13.5 thousand kilometers. It's going to take me 2 days of flying. But you see, when I communicate with organizers, it takes less than 1 second to exchange email communication. Less than 1 second, I repeat. So look at this one. Nothing travels faster than the speed of light. With the possible exception, of course, of bad news. Bad news, all these social media people, which obeys its own special laws. Wonderful. So let's look at the second component, recognizing risk in connected devices. I'm sure you know this. When you connect your device, there are risks all over the place, internet security risks. I'll give you a few of them here. One is unsecure network. What is the risk? Risk of unsecure network that are connected to. Unsecure. Look at the MTN thing that was came out in Monday in the newsletter number 3. Malware and cyber attacks all over the place. Data privacy risks. People ready to collect your personal data. Weak passwords. Outdated software. device hacking, and unauthorized access. These are some of the risks that are in connected devices. Hey, I can see you are happy now. Time for a break. So let's go on a short break. Yeah, so while on break, let's have a break tidbit. Now, you go to internet service provider. Hey, give me a router. I want to buy a router. Oh, which one do you want? Oh, 4G or 3G or 5G? What is this G thing? So, look at it here. It has to do with the speed. It has to do with it when we start having it. So let's look at it like this. The G, by the way, is generation. So 1G around 1980s, that was analog. I recall that when we were in 2001. God, don't try for me. In 2001, when I was the Executive Secretary, National Universities Commission, that's 20. What is it now? 24 years ago. Okay, we're using 2G at that time, not even 3G, because it's early 2000. So I didn't get to use this one much. So that's a second generation, 1990s. Third generation, 3G, early 2000. 4G, yeah, 4G is all over the place now, because some people are migrating to 5G, which is now very common elsewhere. Yeah, so what's the difference? It's about the speed. Now 5G launched it offering ultra fast low latency speeds can exceed 10 gigabits. No, this one 4G is 100 megabits. This one is gigabits. Then we're expecting that by 2030, in another 5 years or so, we're going to get the 6th generation, and that will be 100 gigabits. Oh, God will keep us decades beyond to see 6G, 7G, 8G, and the rest of them. So the break is over. I hope you enjoyed your. Okay, so let's switch gear now and move on to look at the concepts and terminologies. There are quite a number, but we'll just take a few in this lesson. The concepts and terminologies that are associated with the internet. Let's start with the ISP. That's you want internet. Oh, so you walk into an office. Oh, please, can you provide me with internet? I'll bring your money. Okay, you get it. So the internet service provider, ISP, is that company that connects you to the internet. Of course, in Nigeria, we have this one. So there are many others, but these are some of the major players. Now, so network has been established. So let's look at the different types of networks. Okay, you are alone in your room, and then you have your computer is connected, your phone like I have now, my two phones are connected, my tablet is connected, and some by Bluetooth. So that's your personal area network. I'd like you to note this because I may be asking you on Friday. Personal area network. That's the network for devices within a few meters, like Bluetooth connections. Then in the building, in your university, or even with the building that you live in, there can be some connection. That's local area network, connecting computers within a small area like a home or office. So what about the metropolis, the town, like in Lagos, like in Ibadan, Kaduna, Enugu, and the rest of them? That's the big, the metropolis. But I don't know whether that happens, whether you have one network connecting the entire metropolis. But that's a name, though. Metropolitan area network. That's network covering a large city or large campus. Of course, like in Lagos State University, we have this metropolitan area network covering the entire university. And then you have the wide area network that is covering the country or the continent of Africa. That's the wide area network. So you know now, personal, local, metropolitan, and wide area network. Let's move on now. Let's look at where you go buy internet. No, when you go subscribe, then you buy a router. This one, you know them now. You buy a router. Now you can see I pronounce it router, which is the American pronunciation. In American, you say, which route are you taking? But the British, which route are you taking? So for the Americans, it is router. For the British, it is router. Which route which router. So whatever that you like, please carry on with it. So what is the router? You know, the router is like police now. It will serve you internet, different devices. It's a device itself that directs data between networks, like traffic police for internet data. So let's go on. Broadband. Broadband. Now you subscribe to some internet service and say, oh, it is broadband. How do you know? Now there's a minimum academic standards, more or less. Now you have, if the download speed, it's easy to download, to come down from the stairs, but to go up, to carry load, not be small thing. So the minimum download speed is 25, look at it, megabits per second. And then the minimum upload speed to carry load up 3 megabits per second. So when it gets into that, you know it is broadband. Now let's learn some other terminologies, and you see what I want from you. Module 10. You have only spent 1 week plus. We want you from today, when you've taken lesson 2, you know, we did some in lesson 1, when you're taking lesson 2, let them know that your language don't change. That don't let them, all these experts, don't let them shakara for you. Shakara is to make younger. But the other one, shakara is to boast, to let you, to intimidate you. Yeah, let them know that you also can speak something. Let's take on some of these other terminologies. Now, URL, you've heard of it before. It is Uniform Resource Locator. Is the other name, big jargon for web address. So what's the web address? So this is our web address for the VigBay app. So that's what it means. So you, from now on, right, and say, oh, can you give me your web address? So just say, can I have the URL? URL. Hey, they will say you are this person. Don't come up. So now IP address is the Internet Protocol address. Now every entity that gets into the internet must have its own identity, its own number. And as I said earlier in the lesson, when you have the participants in this course will give you registration number. You also have your name. Your registration number is your like IP address, and it comes like this: 4 different numbers: 205.134.120.60. I'm going to come to that in a little while, so you can see what we have here. So here we have taken on URL, that's web address. So where's the web address? The IP address we're going to be looking at it at some point. Then let's go on. Let's look at home page. Home page, when you click on the link and it lands you in the page, look at our own home page. It's the first page that you view when the browser starts. So that's the one. What about servers and clients? The server is a big computer, a powerful computer. It can actually be a laptop that you configure as a server, which will now be serving server to the computers, which are called clients. So the client is any device that requests data from the server, includes personal computers, smartphones, tablets, and the rest of them. So we've learned 3 on this page. Let's go on. Now, look, you can say I'm repeating this. Learn the language of the experts. Don't let them shakara for you. So as I said, from now on, just be using this language. Of course, we're going to be looking at this in the test. 50 items. Data centers. Now, data centers, all these servers we're talking about, where you put them, cool environment, all over the place. Data centers are physical locations that house multiple servers and are responsible for hosting and managing large amounts of data. What about domain name? I'm sure you know that. Domain name is readable address of a website. So the website, vigbay.org, google.com, that's the one. But the domain name will have an IP address. Then the system for changing the domain name to IP addresses is the DNS. DNS is domain name system. Domain name system. That's a service. Translates domain name to IP addresses. We're moving. Hey, yeah. HTTP. You see, when you write HTTPC on the address bar, this one is the address bar, / /www bar and all of that. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Now, this is a protocol. I told you about protocols. There are rules guiding everything for transmitting web pages over the internet. But you see, you can also have HTTP with an S after it. That S means it is secure. So be looking out for those HTTPS. You can be sure that beat your chest. I'm beating my chest now. Can you hear it? that this one is secure. So a secure version of HTTP that encrypts data exchange between the browser and the server. What about FTP? FTP is file transfer protocol. Anytime you are uploading, you are downloading, what are you doing? You are using the file transfer protocol. Let's move on now to search engine. Oh, you know this, you want to find something on the internet, you look at Google or you look at Yahoo, you look at that. Those are search engines. A search engine is a tool for searching for information on the internet. What about downloading? You know that I just mentioned it. You download from the internet, download videos, download, upload, send these files up in the internet. So let's go on. Cloud storage. When you hear cloud, it's not that this thing is stored in the cloud. No cloud anywhere. No cloud. So it's not that it's stored in the cloud where rain will fall, where you have cumulus, nimbus, and stratus, all of that. No, it's actually in data centers where, because you cannot see them, they are just seen kind of thing. So cloud storage is a way to save files online instead of on your device. That's cloud storage. You see, the cloud computing, when you use internet-based services for storage and application, well, what do we mean? You see, when you have some applications, Microsoft Word, IBM SPSS, and all that, that you don't want to put on your computer, you can tap from the cloud. And I told you the cloud is not cloud where rain will follow. All right, let's look at some others. Learn the language of the experts. Don't let them shakara for you. There's this HTML. You'll be hearing of it. What does it mean? It's hypertext markup language. And that is the language used for creating web pages and applications. Do you want to bother about all of this? No, no, no. Because the development these days has made it possible that the whole thing can move very, very nicely. So don't bother yourself, but just know that this exists. And of course, you have CSS. That's a cascading style sheet. Of course, you have JavaScript. Ooh, should we move on? Oh yes, let's move on. Now, yeah, hey, do you know that everything now can be connected to the internet? You can connect your car, your washing machine, house, everything connected to the internet. And that's called Internet of Things. So when I ask you, what is IoT? These are everyday devices that are connected to the internet. Let's move on. Now we're talking about cash. You see how I pronounce it, cash, like cash, naira, cash. Cache is a temporary storage for faster access to frequently used data. What does that mean? You see, when you call up Google or any of the search engines and you ask it for something, or you go to a website, by the time you ease out of it, it puts some of those things in the cache temporarily. So next time you come, it's fast to get in there. Hey, what about streaming? We do this most times. Indeed, this lesson is going to be put on YouTube. And when you are using it, you don't want to download it, you can just watch it directly from the internet without downloading. That is streaming. I'm sure you know that. So let's get on to more language of the experts, and don't let them shakara for you. Now, I told you about the regulators. I told you about those that govern the thing. We have this Internet Cooperation for Assigned Names and Numbers. Now, this organization, is non-profit, of course. It helps with managing domain names, IP addresses, and other critical internet infrastructure. That's the manager. Right. Then you have the Internet Engineering Task Force. Now, this is responsible for creating and promoting internet protocols and standards. It's like the AUC, MBT, SEC, all these group. Then W3C, World Wide Web Consortium. Hey, this is an organization that's responsible for developing standards for the web, including HTML, CSS, and accessibility guidelines. So this is not the governor, but there's no one single person that will say I own the internet. So let's get on with, yes, we're almost there. IP version 4. Hey, IP version 4. Internet Protocol version 4. It means that you have another version. Internet Protocol version 6. You have another version. No. This is where we are now at the moment. And so this one is the 4th version of the Internet Protocol. I use 32-bit address space. Don't bother about it. Just have the mental construct there. Then this one has 128-bit address space. We have here how we compare the two. This was deployed in 1981. Far, but not too far, because that's what we're using now. So when you talk about the IP address. I say 4 groups: 192.168, 192.168.5.5. I'm talking about IP version 4. But the IP version 5, hey, that one is 128-bit. And you can see every device can have unique address. Here, address will be reused and masked. So version 6 is this one is getting out of, is nearing exhaustion, and this one is coming up quite slowly. Now let's go on to the last one, blockchain. You've heard about blockchain. Blockchain is like money part of this thing, or ledger, finance. It is where ledger technology used for securely and transparently recording transactions commonly associated with cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. This is how the thing works. Just see how it works. It goes like this and all of that and all of that. So that brings us to the end of all of the terminologies that we have to use for that. So somebody is talking now. You are watching television. Bitcoin. Blockchain. You should know it is part of this. They're talking about IP version 4, IP version 6. They're talking about all of these things. So you yourself begin to use the language so that the people in your university, polytechnic, or college of education, all the other participants, they will know, say, something don't happen. Now, time for me to give you a guide to practical number 2. We're talking about internet in this lesson. So we're going to be testing the strength of your internet service, and the procedure is quite straightforward. Just select any 2 days of this week, just like you did for practical 1. Yeah, you connect to the internet and then you measure. For the first day, let it be before 7 a.m. That's when traffic, we expect that traffic may not be too heavy. And then the second day should be around 12 noon when you would think that traffic. So we want to compare. Then you go to speedtestnet. This is a software that's available. There are several for testing, but we're going to use this one for this practical. And then you can download it, your computer. I have them in my computer, my phones, and the rest. So you can download this. But if you don't want to download, you can just use the thing online, as I'm going to demonstrate. So you go to start measuring, and then you wait till the test is over, and then you take the screenshot, just like you did for the other cyber threat map global. Paste your report and record details, and then you discuss your results. So let me show you how this is done practically. Yeah, so on what you use to browse, that's a browser. You type speedtestnet. You can say it's speedtest.net. You hit enter, and you wait for speedtest.net to come. Say, what do you want? What do you want, man? So you just come here, and then you say go. And then speedtest.net will begin to test the service that you have, the internet service. As you can see, it's testing. Let me wait. Okay, then. Okay, no, you don't need to do that. So it's going to do the download, and then it's going to do the upload. So that's the download. It's doing the upload now. And then let me pause this so that when it finishes, you will see what it has done. Okay, it's actually almost done. Yeah, so you don't finish with that. So it has given us this. I'm doing this before 7 a.m. So you get actually 7:03. Okay, fine, it doesn't matter here. So you can see the download, the speed of its download, 296.65 megabits per second. The upload is 22.25. Now this one is what we call the latency. This is idle. Let me see now. They're going to pop up. This is the idle latency. You can see it now. Idle latency. What does latency mean? Latency means the delay. Yes, you ask somebody a question and it's taking one year to answer you. So the delay is much. But if you ask somebody a question and he answers you immediately, the latency is small. So that's the delay. The delay. If the latency is small, then it's rapid. But the latency is big, then it's slow. So download latency is this. And then upload latency is that, and then you need, what else you need? Like I said, you need the result ID. Then you need this the address, the internet protocol address of your service. So what else you need to do? Hey, it's quite simple. You just take the screenshot. You capture your screen. Yes, I'm going to capture the screen. Now look at where you're going to capture. Not everything, just results up to here, up to where you have this one there, and then you go paste. Paste where you're going to see in a minute. Yeah, so you're going to paste the template. This is the template of the report. You're sending first. You did this before and you did it very well. So this is, you are supposed to do it before 7 a.m., but I'm doing it at 7:06. No problem with that. So what you do, I've copied that one. You paste it here. So after pasting here, for the other day, you're going to paste the other one here too. So you have the download, you put the result ID, the download speed, the upload speed, all these ones. So that's what is going to go into the summary table. I'm going to fill it up in a minute. The time you put it, the result ID, the download speed, the upload speed, the idle latency, download latency, upload latency, IP address, and then you discuss the result. So let me fill this up quickly. Yeah, so I've entered the thing for reading number 1. That's for the first day. The second day, you do the same. This May 5, 7:06, result ID, download speed. You have to put the unit. If you don't put the unit, you're going to lose marks. Download speed, because speed in megabits per second. The ideal latency and all that, and the IP address. So you discuss your results. As simple as that. Congratulations in ad. Oh, yes, that brings us to the end of the lesson introducing you to the internet and how it works. Next lesson, how is it going to be? Equally exciting. And it's going to be unit number 3. As you can see there, network security basics. Those are the topics we'll be taking. Until then, it's bye from me, and God bless you all.